Hello, come back. Today, this is of the self. Well, today, today we're going ahead with 59 Seconds by Wiseman. I think Richard Wiseman, as far as I do remember. It should actually be open somewhere, I hope, and it is not, which is fine. 59, no, not 69. Lol. By Richard Wiseman, yeah. It's actually been correct. Astonishing. Really astonishing. Where are we? Here we go. There we are. We actually went through quite a bit of it the last time and the time before, because I guess, as far as I remember, this is already the... Or is it the second? No, it should be the second episode, I guess. If you want to cheer yourself up, behave like a happy person. This is something we haven't gone through yet. Want to be happy? I'm sorry, wants to buy happiness. This is something we've been talking about the last time. If you want to cheer yourself up, behave like a happy person. As far as I know, there is some studies that do show that smiling, even if you're not happy, makes you more happy. Don't know if it is correct at some point in time, people thought it is correct. I don't know if there were some other studies that, how do you say it? Yeah, anyway. Disproved it. To maximize happiness, choose intentional over circumstantial change. If you set children an activity they enjoy and reward them for doing it, the reward reduces the enjoyment and demotivates them. Maybe just because it is more competitive then, and I don't know, I do like competitiveness, I am quite competitive, but at some point I just really hate it and find it quite unnecessary, especially when it is something that I enjoy and something that I like anyways. I don't need some prize, I don't need some money, I don't need some shit. Just want to do it because it makes me happy, because it is great. To encourage people to do more of something they enjoy, try presenting them with the occasional small surprise reward after they have completed the activity or praise the fruits of their labor. I mean, in terms of children, I think praising what they did, and actually maybe sometimes a bit overdoing it, and is a great idea. To also, when it comes to behavior in general, I mean, if they do something that you favor, that you like, that you would like them to do more often, being nice to other people, holding the door open, things like this, praising the shit out of them makes sense. When you're not saying anything, they do not get the fucking feedback loop. On the other hand, when they do something you dislike, don't want to say that, there should be some, some negative feedback, but no feedback at all, I guess, could actually be enough to make them realize that this is not something you favor, this is not something they should be doing, according to you. It seems that presenting weakness early is seen as a sign of openness. I would say so in general. From assessing the effects of a bad hair day to performing badly in a group discussion, those who feel embarrassed are convinced that their mistakes are far more noticeable than they actually are. Why? It seems we focus on our own looks and behavior more than others, and so are likely to overestimate their impact. Definitely the case. If you want to increase your chances of making a good impression in a meeting, sit towards the middle of the table. Also leaning forward, making the other person feel like that you're more interested in the conversation, in the other person, while actually asking questions. Many things body language does play a huge role. I went through quite a few books on body language, quite good books with a ton of information. In the end, it's quite an archive of different book summaries that you may actually not be able to find anymore on the web. Go search for it, pause the video, scroll through it, and read it yourself. Sometimes there are also some notes. There is a Google Drive folder in the description of the YouTube video at least. Shouldn't be the case for the podcast, but check it out. There are some basically summaries of the summaries, quite good things you can find there. To increase the likelihood of someone liking you, get them to do you a favor. When you gossip about another person, listeners unconsciously associate you with the characteristics you are describing, ultimately leading to those characteristics being transferred to you. Something that I've heard before is, when talking about something negative, not looking the person that you're talking to into the eyes, because then there is some sort of association with whatever you're talking about at the time or telling them for whatever reason. I don't know if this is the truth, but I don't know. I think it just also makes sense. When you're gossiping about something, when you're just, seemingly being a shitty person, well, it just says a lot about you. We like people who are like us and find them far more persuasive than others. The more people who are around when a person is apparently in need of assistance, the lower the likelihood of any person actually helping. It is a phenomenon. I've talked about it before in various books. It is included. It's interesting. It is harsh, and I quite hate it, to be honest, because it is then most often the case when you're in public spaces. There are many people around, but nobody's doing anything just because of this phenomenon. Even though I think that this is the initial reaction, but when one starts helping, a lot more people are, doing so, I guess. At least in my head, it kind of makes sense. I don't know why. Favors have the strongest effect when they occur between people who do not know each other very well and when they are small but thoughtful. Yeah. I mean, when it is in between friends, it just still means a lot, Fantasizing about your perfect world may make you feel better, but it is unlikely to help transform your dreams into reality. No shit, Sherlock. Some research suggests that eating more slowly helps people eat less, perhaps because it fools our brains into thinking that we have eaten more and allows extra time for the body to digest food. I think at this point in time it is quote-unquote common sense. Also, eating from a blue plate can help because it kind of looks disgusting and subconsciously makes us eat less. If you want to reduce your drinking, stay away from short white glasses and stick to tall, narrow ones. Probably because whatever you're drinking looks way more. Also, one of the reasons why eating from a small plate makes sense, because whatever you're putting on it looks very big. So when you're having a very big plate, it might look pretty cool, pretty beautiful, pretty whatever, presenting the food in a very nice way, but you're probably going to end up eating more or at least putting more on your plate, because it is so big and a lot of food fits on it. Research shows that just placing food or drink out of sight or moving it a few meters away can have a big effect on consumption. Yeah, I mean, having those things you should not be eating on the very top of your cabinet, and it's always like a burden to get it. Makes sense that you're not really willing to do so every fucking time you want to have it. To cut intake, make sure that tempting foods are out of sight and in place that is difficult to access, such as top, cupboard, or basement. People are significantly more when they are distracted at meal times and therefore not paying attention to their food. One of the reasons why watching TV while eating may not be a super good idea. Try cutting down on your eating by replacing your crockery and cutlery. Research conducted by the Kaiser Permanent Center for Health Research suggests that making a note of how much you eat can help you lose weight. The phenomenon of when someone is tracking whatever the fuck he or she is doing, being aware of what you're doing makes you more likely to, I would actually also say, being faster in terms of workload, in terms of things that you're doing. And I guess it's just about awareness, like just noticing, seeing, and period. Research conducted by Charles Abraham and Pascal Sheeran, I guess, has shown that just a few moments thinking about how much you will regret not going to the gym will help motivate you to climb off the couch and onto an exercise bike. For some people, I'd say. Probably not for everyone, but yeah. This is it for now. Hope I'm gonna see you the next time as well, and up until then, bye bye.